All right, let's dip into the latest news break that we're getting in. Sources have now told India Today that the police believes that a financial dispute between Indrani and her daughter Sheena could be amongst one of the major motives that led to Sheena's gruesome murder. India Today has exclusive details of a government probe into the sale of NewsX. The investigation is now being looked at by those investigating the Sheena Bora murder because it contains revealing details about alleged financial bungling at the by Indrani Mukerjea at INX Media. This investigation done in 2013 has now come to haunt Indrani Mukerjea. Getting us the detail is our managing editor, Rahul Kanwal. He's on the phone line with us. Rahul, will you get us up to speed with this latest twist?
We've been able to access the serious fraud investigation office report into the sale of NewsX by the Mukerjeas, and this shows that the government believes that there is the SFIO reports to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, and in the report that they put together, they've said that that Indrani Mukerjea and the other people involved were responsible for deliberately defrauding up to the extent of 168 crore rupees. What happened was that when this company was set up, the price per share was 208 rupees. However, when this was sold, it was sold 10 rupees per share, which is a discount of 198 rupees per share. So what the SFIO found very strange is at a time when the channel hadn't even been set up, wasn't even on air, why would this be sold at such a deep discount? And the SFIO believes this was done deliberately, maliciously. The SFIO report that we've been able to access says that Indrani Mukerjea and others should be charged for cheating, they should be charged for fraud, they should be charged for criminal conspiracy under Section 120B of the Penal Code. Those are the charges that have been leveled. These documents are part of the presentation that's been made by Prashant Bhushan to the Supreme Court, and this matter came about. You know, this investigation happened, Preeti, when the SFIO was investigating Meera Radia's business dealings. Because you remember Radia tapes, you've got Jahangir Poota, who was at that time the editor-in-chief of NewsX. He was calling up Meera Radia very desperately and saying, "We're not being able to pay our salaries." So that was the initial point. They wanted to know what Meera Radia dealing with NewsX, and that's how the sale of NewsX by the Mukerjeas to a company called Indrani Media, which is run by a man who runs Nai Dunya, the Madhya Pradesh-based newspaper. That's when this probe started, and that has thrown up these very, very serious.
Right. Rahul, if you're still with us, can you know, how does it all tie in as a murder motive where Sheena Bora was concerned? Rahul, are you with us? All right, we seem to have lost Rahul. We're going to try and establish that audio connect with our managing editor, Rahul Kanwal, who's breaking this exclusive on India Today. But let's quickly take our viewers through what he's just told us, to encapsulate it for our viewers. Well, this could very well, you know, right now be another motive which the police is investigating on, a financial motive of murder of Sheena Bora. Sources have told India Today that the police believes that a financial dispute between Indrani and her daughter Sheena could be amongst one of the major motives that led to Sheena's murder. India Today has gotten exclusive details of a government probe into the sale of INX Media. I believe Rahul Kanwal, our managing editor, is back with us on the phone line. Rahul, the question I was asking you is, how does it tie in as a murder motive as well, where Sheena Bora was concerned?
You see, we don't want to jump the gun just yet and say that this is directly linked to the murder. But what is very clear is that the cops believe that there was serious financial bungling in the INX Media operation. You remember that even Ravina Raj Kohli, when she spoke to us, Veer Sangvi, when he spoke to us, said...
Rahul, we're having a problem with your audio line. You know, we're going to try and connect to you again. Rahul Kanwal, our managing editor, breaking this news on India Today. We're going to connect to him again. We're going to try and figure out that audio line that he's speaking to us on. But in effect, we're not trying to imply that this was a murder motive, but this is information. This is information that is coming out right now. Well, in totality, the news that India Today is getting is that the police now is working on an angle of a financial dispute between Indrani and her daughter Sheena. Now, they have been led to this because there are reports that there was massive financial bungling which went on when Indrani and Peter Mukerjea exited INX.